In our series of videos, we've already covered how to properly construct a makiwara. Also, how to use that makiwara properly. Now we're moving on to the heavy bag. Heavy bag, this is what I'm talking about. A heavy bag. Now this one is new, so it's not quite filled. As you fill your bag up with rags, they will constantly pack down and down and down. You have to keep filling it until finally it's full all the way. At that point, it will probably weigh about 250 pounds. One of the goals of our heavy bag workout is to cause the muscles in our strikes to completely be exhausted to the end. We want it to burn. We really, really want it to burn, and we want you to get to the point where you can barely lift your arms, barely keep your leg up when you're making a kick. Lifting it up should be extremely difficult. The reason for this is that your body will begin to stop using extraneous movements and muscles that are not necessary for actually accomplishing what you want to do, your goal. This is just normal and natural because the body wants to conserve its energy and it wants to do things more efficiently. And it will once we start approaching these exhaustion points. When you're striking the heavy bag, you want to make sure that you are wearing some type of covering over your hand. A lot of people like to wear bag gloves. A lot of people like to wear just the regular equipment that they would use in a regular fight. But if you really, really want to get your hands conditioned, get yourself a regular set of gardening gloves. Cut off the fingers about halfway and use those. You'll find your hands become like rocks after a while, and you will be able to dish it out. Because truthfully, if you get in a fight on the street, you're not going to have all of those fancy hand wraps. You're not going to have your gloves or anything else on. You're going to be going bare knuckled. Same way with your feet. We wear shoes when we're on the street. We don't walk around barefoot unless you're on the beach. And when you're working on the heavy bag, the weight of the shoes makes a difference. So you want to kick with your shoes on. This helps you to become much more adapted and adjusted to the real world that you're going to face out on the streets. We're going to work basically in the beginning 2 rounds of hands and 2 rounds of your feet. The second week, as you're doing it, you're going to work 4 rounds of hands and 4 rounds of feet. When we go further, we're going to introduce another. For example, let's say your 3rd week. You just add 1 more round to your hands, and you add 1 more round to the feet. And in these cases, you're going to be doing combinations. Combinations of your hands, and then combinations with your feet. As we continue, for example, say the 6th week, we'll be adding in more strikes, which will allow you to expand your combinations. And by the time you have 7 rounds of hands and 7 rounds of feet, we'll add a 15th round where it will be totally free, hands and feet, and you work combinations and anything else that you really desire on the heavy bag. But right now, let's look at what it looks like to hit the heavy bag. The workout we're going to be doing is a beginner's workout. It's for you right in the beginning. What we're going to do, this initial one is going to be for your 1st week. All we're going to do is 4 rounds. We're going to do 2 rounds with our hands, and we're going to do 2 rounds with our legs. That's all it's going to be. I want you to do this for a full week. That's 6 days, in case you don't know. From here, you get your position. Make sure your feet are in the proper distance so you can strike, and back a little bit, because we always want to step in when we make the initial strikes. Your guards are up to however you're going to make, however you want to stand. But from here, you're just going to start hitting the bag. And back. Forward and then back. That's all we want us to do in the beginning. So we simply strike and retreat, strike and retreat. And notice my hand is coming back level with my shoulder. It doesn't drop down, leaving myself open when I'm doing that. You can also lift up your shoulder a little bit if you want, if you can think of it, to also protect the side of your head while you're making your jabs, so you're not as open against hook punches. So again, after you've got the rhythm down and you're starting to feel a little burn, at this point start making movement involved with your striking. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to step in and then move. You can move around the bag as you do it. In fact, that'll probably make it a lot easier on you as far as boredom goes. After you've done 3 minutes on this side, change sides, and you don't have to do more than a few seconds between, and start working with your other side, working with the other hand. These are the first 2 rounds, simply doing your jab. Once you've completed the 3 minutes on that round, we're going to go to the legs. Part of the reason we're doing this is I want my muscles to become very coordinated with the movement of my body. In other words, I want the skeletal muscular system to work together. The only way it'll do this is when it's very tired and it'll give up and start working together properly. From the legs, we're simply going to do a front kick from the front leg, and then we're going to switch sides. So from here, all you're going to want to do is simply that's all you really want to do. Changing sides, you do the same thing. For the first week, that's all you have to do. 4 rounds, 12 minutes with, actually you don't need any time between, but of course you want to give yourself a little time to breathe. When you start on the second week, we're going to add. And this time, our first 2 rounds will always, every time, no matter what level of skill that you're working on, you will do the front jabs every single time. And the 2 front kicks we just did. Those are the most critical of all of our movements. For the second week, your second week now, you're going to add on. We're going to work the cross. We're going to do that one for 3 minutes. Because we're going to work a combination. From here, we're going to do the jab, followed by the cross. This is very, very important. This is probably one of the most critical things you have. Setting up your cross. So from here, we're going to work that one for 3 minutes. On the legs, we're going to do our first 2. Then we're going to work the front kick from your back leg. So this time, after you've made your stripes, your first 2, we're going to simply come in and kick the back with your back leg. Switching sides, we're going to do the same thing. That time your workout's over. That is the beginning workout on the heavy bag. We'll have another section. We'll have part 2 where we'll get into more dance movements. So until then, have fun.